Hi, yesterday we made a 3-strand plait with the loose mobile method. Today I'm going to show you a 5-strand plait. I'm also going to show you how to work with a fixed point to help you keep the tension a bit more even. First off we're going to have to again measure out 15 lengths of thread. I've tried it on already so you don't have to bore yourself watching that. I was a bit worried we were going to run out of thread there. Right, so as before, we'll cut it off at this end and at this end. Right, so we'll again wax them, but this time we're making groups of 5 groups of 3 rather than 3 groups of 5. So we've got 3 there, 2, 3, just match the ends up again, just like yesterday. Wrap it around your finger to give it tension so you're not trying to control it with your hands. Then we can start running it through the wax. Build up a nice layer, both sides of the top and bottom and both ends of the cord, and that should stick together quite nicely. Do this side as well. As I said before, once you've finished your thread, you may want to you may decide it's not got enough wax in it. It should be stiff like that. It stands up on its own. If it's not, you've not got enough wax in it, but you can always just work the thread through a few more times, building up more wax on it. And it's best if you can then place it somewhere warm. Preferably wrap it in a bit of foil so you don't end up dripping wax down the radiator, and let that wax settle into the threads. Right, I'll let you disappear and come back once I've waxed up all the threads. Okay, we've got our 5 strands twisted up here. You'll notice they're a bit thinner than the 3-strand one that we did yesterday. If you've not seen the first part of this video where I do the 3-strand plait, I suggest you go and look it up because it gives a good context and introduction to this. Now, we tie a knot in it, separate our strands as normal. Then we're going to need to secure it with something and touch something. I think I'm going to use a point that I've already made to secure it, as that will give good strength. We can fasten it around this board that should have the strength to do it for us. Now we need to locate the knot there. Then we can ease out our 5 separate strands. We're using the same principle we were using before, which is edge to middle. So, starting here, it goes over 2 this time, the middle position. This one then goes over 2 again, the middle position. We're just going to have to ease them in a bit. This one over 2. Over 2. over 2. You can see we're starting to build up that normal plaited look. And now we can pull really tight. But now we've got something we can work with. I'll just reorient myself. You want to be facing this, not trying to work at an angle. And then you can keep the pressure on. You're not hauling away at it, you're just using that to pull gently against. We're starting to build up the plait now. So again, I'll say it's exactly the same technique as the 3-strand plait, but we're going over 2 strings instead of 1. It does give a flatter and, I think, neater finish. We're also using, in this case, the fixed point to just keep the tension a bit more even. It makes it easier particularly when you're starting out first learning. You remember me mentioning how the loose ends might get tangled up? You can see it's starting to happen here with the 5 strands wrapping around each other. Doesn't help that I'm working at the edge of the table, of course. Just try to keep this piece of cord here taut, so that's going to where your tension comes from. Now this one, at least because it's secured to something, it's a bit easier to put down and pick up in a bit if I need to. So I might do that to quickly show you something before I disappear and finish it off. Again, once I've finished this cord, I'll tie a knot in the other end as well. I'll just take this thread out here. Tie a knot in the other end to secure it, and then in a future video, when I've shown you the 3rd type of braid we can make, we'll have a look at making and fitting the eaglets onto the ends. Right, I'm just going to put this aside now and do the old blue Peter. So here's one I prepared earlier. You can see we've got that nice, neat, plaited look to it. If we compare it to the 3-strand plait that I made yesterday, it's one that I haven't put extra wax into. You can see it's smoother, neater. It's also a little bit shorter, and both are shorter than the area that I measured the thread in. The 5-strand is shorter because we are doing more going across than we are on the 3-strand. However, it will be stronger because each strand touches 4 others rather than 2 others, and the beeswax acts as a glue binding them together. So 5-strand plait is slightly stronger than 3-strand. The finger loop braiding I'll show you tomorrow is even stronger still, but probably loses a little more length. Right, I'll leave you to go and make a cup of tea whilst I finish braiding this.